Hey everybody! Well, today I thought we could put together another one of these fun little marble run kits. Now this is a super simple and small one because it only has 3 sheets of parts that we can see right here and here and then over here, these nice decorative bits. Now this did not have a brand name when I got it in, and when I went back to Amazon to see what the name brand was, it was a name I couldn't pronounce, and then it said it was not available anymore. So I don't know if these are going to be back in stock or not. I'll put a link in the description if you want to get one of these, assuming they're going to get them back in stock, because I'm not really sure. But this also comes with a motor, so this is a motorized one. I like when they do that. Also has a battery pack right there, and you can also see all the extra balls that comes with this. You can probably have all 4 of them in there. So it should be a pretty simple one. I built one very similar to this in the past. I did a video on it. This one has a slightly different look to it. So here's the instructions, and there's not much to it because it is such a small kit. Some stuff here, and then this is what it's going to look like when it's all done. It's got a couple of little ramps right there, and I like how it kind of does this little like roller coaster swoop right there. It's kind of neat. So yeah, it should be fun to put together. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started on it. Okay, so I've gotten some work done on this so far. Now, I have to say the instructions could use a little bit of clarity. Sometimes it's not very good. You know, it's like the pictures are what you're going to have to use to build this thing. But I will say this piece right here in the center, they have the rail on that piece the wrong way. So that piece ends up going on right there. So see that little rail right there? So in this picture, they have it on the opposite side, which is the way I glued it, because that's what they tell you to do. But then when you install it onto this piece here, it's the wrong way. So you have to take it off and put it on the right way. So look ahead in the instructions to see which way that goes so that you don't make the same mistake I did. So yeah, that was kind of a frustrating thing. You are going to have to use some glue on this because some of these little things that hold things together are kind of loose. And just to kind of reinforce everything. And then also you're going to need some of these nippers because to make this little like cog or gear, see the little things on the inside? The way this is held together is by using that stick, and you push that stick through 3 layers of this, and then you have to snip it off. And then that's how that is put together. Like that. So anyway, I mean, things are going together pretty good. It's like I said, it's not a real big kit. It's not a difficult kit. But the instructions could be a little bit better. And also you can see that these parts are labeled, but they don't even tell you to use those numbers in the instructions. So they don't really need to label them because they're not using those anyway. Alright, well anyway, I found this kit kind of weird so far, but I don't know. Hopefully it works when I get it all done. Okay, so I got some more work done on this. So going back to the way they label these parts, it's different than the Roker kits or the Row Life kits. So in this case, you'll see A4 and A5. So what that means is like these little ramps right here, you'll see that this one is labeled A4. I can focus on it. So that's going to go in here. So that's how this one works. It just kind of connects to the same spot. Now, one thing I'm noticing about this kit is that they really kind of messed up at this point. Okay, so I got the motor in here, I got the battery pack in here, and everything works. Like if I turn this on, let me push this in, you can see how that's turning. So everything's working just fine, but one thing they forgot to do is when you put this top section on, and thank goodness I didn't glue those other ramps on yet, those ones, because you're going to put this on top of here like this. Alright, and that's all well and good once you get it on here. And then these ramps here are going to get connected to this part right here and that part. And that's how the ball goes from there to there. But the problem is, how do you get to the batteries? When it comes time to change these batteries, there's no compartment to get down in here. This is all one piece, this whole base section. So the only way you're going to have to do it is do not glue these ramps that connect to this and this. Don't glue those in. And then that way you can pop those off, and then you can take this whole thing off to get down in here to get to the battery. So that's really stupid. That was a really dumb design. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at this thing, and I'm like, how are you supposed to get to the battery compartment? So every time you got to change the batteries, now you're going to have to pop that ramp off of there and here. And you got to hope that they can hold up, you know, the constant popping those off. I mean, you're not going to have to change the batteries that often, but still, these are really fragile pieces, and they don't give you spares. So, yeah, that was a poor design choice, I will have to say. Alright, well anyway, I'm almost done with this now, thank goodness, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Alright, so I found I had to do a little modification here. So when the balls fall down into this little trough on the inside, I was wondering why there's only, 2 or maybe 3 balls coming out of here. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And it's because when they drop down in here, they would drop off and down into this area. And that's because the walls of this isn't very tall. You can see it's just only this tall right here. So I had to add a little bit more to it. So this little stretch right here, and a little bit on this side, and then the same thing over here, and then also this little bit on the end. So I had some extra pieces of wood left over from past wood kits, and I just made kind of like a little wall there. And now when they drop in there, they're not going to drop out because they're too far in. So that'll keep those from dropping out of there. So every now and then you have to do some kind of modification like that. Okay, so I got the whole thing finished now, and I've tested this out. It's going to be a question of balance. You got to make sure you got the right balance in here, because what's happening is, you'll notice I got a little bit of cardboard tucked underneath here. That's to make it lean back a little bit, because that ramp that's in there that feeds the balls into the wheel, if you don't have it angled far enough back, if it's not quite level and it's leaning too far this way, it's not going to feed the balls in there properly, and they're going to keep kind of like getting pushed out, and then eventually they kind of get jammed in there. And then if you put too much of an angle, they get stuck. So we're going to try this, and hopefully this will work. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, looks like we're doing good. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so yeah, it works. You just got to make sure you got the right balance on it, which is kind of the case for several of these. But you can see how nice that does work really good. Scared to move it because I don't want to throw the balance off. Let me show you an overhead view of it. Okay, so here we can see what it looks like from the top. Now every now and then the balls will get stuck right when they're trying to come out of there. Oh, see, like, and now there's one that got stuck on the inside of the ramp in there. That's probably what's going on, so I have to kind of usually give it a push here. Let me see if we can get it going. There we go. Yeah, it's not perfect, and I think of all of these Marble Run sets that I have done, this is the one I've had the most problems with. So this was an off-brand. It's not Roker or Robo Life. All those, they're like a higher-end brand of these wood kits. This is some generic Chinese kind of knockoff version. And while it's got the same principles and the parts look very much the same, it wasn't engineered the same. I found that, like I mentioned, the instructions could have been a little bit better. They didn't think through how to replace the batteries. I mean, it's not good that you have to take the ramps off in order to get down inside there. That's not good. And I would say it's almost better to have the balls separated a little bit so they're not all trying to feed in there at once. And sometimes the balls, they skip coming out of the top up there. Sometimes they end up going all the way around. Let's see if any of those do that. So far they seem to be coming out okay. I think the more that I run this, the better that it works, which is probably the case because it kind of starts to wear itself in. Also, this did not come with any of those wax crayons, and if you have any of those left over from other kits, I would recommend that you wax the gears on the inside, like wax that spindle there in the middle of the wheel, and also wax where this is all kind of rubbing together against these two pieces of wood right there. So it seems to be working okay now. I was having some problems with it earlier, but maybe now that it's been running for a little while, it's a little bit better. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's not, the build experience was not that great. Okay, so I decided to run all of these now. So I have done videos on this one, and this one, and I believe those were all done by Roker. You can check those videos out if you'd like. But these things are a lot of fun. As you can tell, I really like building them. These have all been really fun to build. But this one here, that's the latest one, and I gotta say that one probably my least favorite as far as the build of it. Because the rest of these went together pretty good. But as with all of these, you're gonna have to tweak them a little bit once you run them. See, like that one loses balls every now and then. Oh, there goes another one. So yeah, you're gonna have to tweak them a little bit. Sometimes you got to adjust the ramp so that things stay in place, or maybe a ball gets stuck somewhere. But they're all a lot of fun. I really do enjoy these, and they're so noisy. These are great. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna put I'll put a link to this one. As I said, it didn't really have a name brand that I could pronounce, and now it got stuck again. But I'm gonna go ahead and put a link in it, and then to that particular one. And if they're still in stock, you can try it out if you'd like. But I think I would recommend these other three more. So if you can find the Roker ones, I'd stick with those because they just seem to work a lot better, and the instructions were a lot better as well. Alright, well anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I will see you then. So thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.